There's an episode of Love, Death, and Robots where we end on a fart, and you know, it's of course it does, because it's Love, Death, and Robots. We basically do whatever we want, and it's just silly. My name is Brad North. I'm a supervising sound editor, and I'm nominated this year for an Emmy for sound editing for Love, Death, and Robots. It is nice to be recognized by your peers, but I see myself as more of a part of the show than anything else. I am very proud of Love, Death, and Robots for all the awards that it gets and that it's nominated for, not just with the Emmys, but all of the other things. I'm really proud whenever I see like the animation stuff come out, and you know, there's lots of Love, Death, and Robots. Of course, I hope for that stuff, but I'm proud to be a part of the show. It's more about Love, Death, and Robots than it is about me. So the episode is somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. It's basically just a couple of scenes, and the director told us to start at 11 and go from there. So the challenge is to make it big and then find ways to make it even bigger. So we start off big, and then when the giant babies come out, we had to make it even bigger. So the challenge really was trying to find the dynamic range to make sure that we hit his direction of start at 11. Babies, they were strictly just baby sounds for the temp. They sounded great, so I kept most of them in there. I had to sweeten some of them because the first one has a sonic boom and blasts out, you know, all this wind and air, so we had to sweeten that. But that's all baby sounds that we got from Robert, the director. We did a playback for him, and we did his fixes. And we actually had quite a bit of back and forth once we had a mix to make sure that we got his track the way he wanted it to be. The biggest technical hurdle would be the dynamic range, because we did want to make it so big. So we did have to find moments to bring it down, or some sort of trade-off between music and effects and dialogue. So in one spot, when we see the energy coming out of their heads and they're fighting the giant babies, I had them screaming while they're shooting these things out, and we tried to save some of the screaming, but that was the wrong move. The move was to go ahead and let the sound design and the music take over. So when you get to that spot in the episode, the screaming is actually down, and it's down on purpose, because that's not the important thing. The important thing was to have the power coming out of them to defeat the giant babies. So that was a choice to help with dynamic range, also narratively. I love working in Pro Tools. I can't imagine cutting in anything else. The best thing is I have food groups. I have, stems, just like a lot of people do. My template has stems. So not only do I have a template that I can cut in, I can also mix in the same template. When I cut the baby stuff, I can keep that in a food group in a stem. I can do explosions in a stem, and I can put all the stuff out on VCAs. And once it's all kind of balanced out and we're putting the whole track together, then we can grab VCAs and stems. And that really helps out with speed and to keep it all organized. I enjoy sound editing. Sound is such a tool in the storytelling world that it's fun to carry that weight at times. Like Love, Death, and Robots, sound carries a lot of weight. If I have the time to mess around with different tools and plugins and see what they do, see what kind of sounds they generate, I like to use that in doing a whole sound design pass on an episode. So it's fun discovering different sounds, making different sounds. Yeah, I enjoy it, yeah.